Where are we at?
A toy.
The store, the thrift store?
Yeah.
You're gonna come with me?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
I love you.
I love you too.
I love this. Dad, let's do so far a toy one.
What, buddy?
Let's do a toy one.
Okay, we'll go to the toys. Hold on, okay? Don't touch anything, okay?
Now we go to a toys.
Yeah, in a minute. We have to go through these aisles first, okay? Anything?
I'm just heading out then.
Oh, okay. Oh, just a little daddy.
Now we go to a toy.
Yeah, hold on one sec, okay? You see anything?
No.
I didn't get a very good cart. Okay. Hey treasure hunters, I hope you enjoyed that little test run I took with my son, Jake. We went out to the thrift store. I wanted to test out my new camera, see how it worked. I tried using a clip, but I wasn't really, I felt like the camera was jumping around a lot and stuff. So I have a harness that I'm gonna use next time. It'll probably make things a lot easier. Also, I wasn't able to film everything with my son there, just trying to touch things and everything else. So, but anyway, it was a nice little intro, I guess, to some of the stuff. We actually found a handful of items that I'm going to show you now. So here's the first thing I picked up. This is just obviously a piece of studio pottery, handmade, incised with this grass, kind of like long grass flower design, kind of like a farmhouse style, I guess. And it is marked down here on the rim CB. I haven't been able to post this or, look it up or anything, but it was only $4 or $5. I think it was $4.99. Super dirty. When I got it, I did clean it up a lot. Inside's still kind of dirty, but as long as the outside looks okay, it's good. Even without the figuring out who the artist is, probably going to be pretty difficult, but even without doing that, I should be able to resell this for 30 or 40 bucks. Next thing I found here, just a vintage hand-carved wooden mallard. It does have its head, it's on a little peg. There's no marking or anything. It is hand-painted, and it's actually in pretty good condition. This was only, I think, $2 or $3. It's not like super detailed or anything. It has kind of a primitive carving style, I guess. I did look these up. I found actually this must have been made, by some company or something, because I actually found a handful of listings that had this same looking duck here, and they weren't selling for a whole bunch, but on Etsy, seeing that I offer free shipping and stuff, I should be able to price this in the $30 to $40 range. So the next thing I got here is an antique engraving, and this is done by W. Angus. I never figured out his first name. All the stuff was just listed as W. Angus. So this is titled Canterbury, and then it says with the cathedral in Kent. And down here it says engraved by W. Angus, and over here it just something about England. I don't know, it's really hard to read, it's small. But I did use my little microscope that I showed in one of my previous videos, and this is an original, probably late 1800s etching or engraving. This was only, I think it was $5.09, and any antique old engravings like this always catch my eye. The artist actually, or whoever engraved it, it does matter to a certain extent, especially if they were more well known. But seeing that this is nicely framed, the frame's in really good condition, and so is the artwork itself, I should probably be able to make in the, I think, $50 to $75 range on this piece. Here's the next piece I found, also $5.09, and this one here is an old lithograph. I also checked this one out, and it's just titled Napoleon on board Bellerophon. I guess this is, when I looked this up, this is Napoleon's surrender. Again, caught my eye just because it's an older print and in a vintage frame. So this one doesn't have any kind of indication on who made it or anything like that. I haven't taken this out, and I probably won't take it out of the frame. I did find a bunch of similar prints for sale. So this is another piece on Etsy, price around probably like $50 to $60. So here's a piece I found at one of the Goodwills we stopped at, and this is an original watercolor painting. It is signed down here by the artist. I could not read that in the store, but luckily card here was on the back, and the artist's name is Noriko Coley. I did not look this up in the store. It was only $4.19, and it was towards the end of our trip, and my son was getting a little finicky, so I decided just to scoop it up because her card says it's from Illinois. It's original watercolor. Everything was there, and it was really well done. So I just decided that I'll be able to make a profit off it regardless. When I got home, I looked up her work, and she was actually born in Japan and had a whole bunch of, she worked at a, art glass factory and then got into watercolor and blah, blah, blah. So her work actually sells for a good amount of money. I only found larger pieces by her, and they were priced in the like $400 to $600 range. So this piece, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to price it for, but probably somewhere in the $150 to $300 range on Etsy. So here's another piece I got for $5.09 at the same Goodwill. And again, didn't bother looking up the artist because I just couldn't. So the reason why I picked this one up, though, is it's in a hefty frame. It's very nicely framed and matted. And there's nothing on the back or anything, but you can tell that, this frame costs some money itself. It is signed by the artist. It's titled The Pride of the Baltimore off Thomas Point Light. And it's numbered 546 out of 1,000. So anytime, like I mentioned in a previous video, anytime I see the numbering and, it's titled and everything written out in pencil like this, in a nice hefty professional frame, professionally matted and stuff, and it was only $5. So of course I'm going to take a shot on that every time, because honestly, the frame's worth a lot more than that without the artwork in it. So this was actually done by Ben Holland. I looked that up when I got home. His work was selling in the $100 to $200 range. I guess just depending on which print it was and everything. So I'll probably price this for around $100. So here's the last thing that I got on our trip. And this is a vintage needlepoint, obviously in a nice frame of these two mallard ducks. There's no indication on artist, and most of the time with fiber arts or textile arts, needlepoints, all that stuff, most of the time there won't be an artist signature. Sometimes there is, but it can be very difficult figuring out who an artist did this kind of folk artwork. It's more about how well it's done, how well it's presented, and all of that. So I have sold textile and needlepoint work in the past and actually made really nice profit off a couple pieces. This one here, it's in an oak frame, very hefty, behind glass, and you can see the frame's still in really good condition. So this one was, I think it was $6.99, and it was at the first stop we made at the Savers. So I thought that this would definitely be a good piece to pick up, and I'll probably price this because I'm not going to find too many comparable items. Kind of just have to go off the size and how well it's done. So probably price this around $200 to start, and then knock it down as time goes on. So thanks for tuning in and watching Jake and I on our first adventure to the thrift store together. It was fun, but he just wanted to go to the toy section the whole time. So I'm not sure I'll take him to multiple thrift stores next time, but it was cool hanging out with him for a little bit. Before I let you go, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so yet, and like the video if you enjoyed the content. And as always, drop any questions you have on anything I picked up, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I've got some other good videos coming out soon, and also I just made one of the best auction buys just last Friday. One of the best auction buys that I've made so far. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I still have to wait for it to get here. I don't even think they've charged me for the shipping yet. So it's going to be a little bit, but stay tuned for that. Super cool piece. I can't wait to get it and check it out. So that's it. I hope everybody has a great day, and I hope you all have great luck out there treasure hunting.